Rob and Slim Show.
Hi, it's Liz Mandel.
Hi, what's going on, Liz? How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Now you're a relationship. Like, do you consider yourself a relationship expert, or are you just like a therapist, or?
Expert.
I'm an expert and a therapist.
An expert and a therapist. I had a few questions.
Okay.
This one is actually concerning. We have a show that we partner with called Ron and Cheese, and last week they had a woman that they interviewed
She claimed
to be a relationship expert. What this woman does is she charges guys $750 to go on a mock date with her in an attempt to help like the guys that have like social awkwardness.
Some of them she charges like $3,000 for.
Something ridiculous like that, and to deal with like dating anxiety or whatever. And to me, I was like, this is just bullshit. It sounds like a scam, and it like that type of thing to me would damage a guy, not help a guy that's having problems. What is your opinion on that?
I mean, sounds like she has some business savvy going on, but
right.
Look, I mean, guys have to get used to the idea of going out on a date, spending money, and not knowing if they're going to get laid. So in that sense, yeah, I mean, it's good preparation, and they got to put out the dough, and they don't know what's going to happen. So, I mean, I don't know.
I'm never spending $750 on a girl for dinner. So.
Yeah, I mean, she better put out at that price. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know what she does. She's probably just like very attractive, and she helps them like get over their anxiety.
I just feel like a lot of guys would end up like falling in love with her, and like especially when it comes to like
stalkers.
Yeah, when you're dealing with guys with like low self-esteem. It's like I have a low self-esteem and social awkwardness, so like I'm doing better now, but I've been in spots where like something like that probably would have fucked me up and not have helped me, like back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's the guys that like fall in love with the strippers or the prostitutes.
Yo.
There's
He knows all about that.
Not you, but
oh no, not me personally.
That is him. Yes.
No, not me personally, but I know a story of a guy.
Okay, you haven't fallen in love with Mighty Aphrodite.
Hermaphrodite.
So, yeah. I mean, look, a lot of dating is tolerating the distress of being anxious about the uncertainty of what's going to happen,
right.
And the anxiety of being judged by somebody else. So people will withdraw from dating because they just have too many self-judgments that are negative, and they don't want someone getting close to them and finding that out. But then again, there are very narcissistic people that want to go on lots of dates so people can see how great they are, but really they have very low self-esteem inside, and they don't have any sort of foundation to build their self on.
So do you think the best way to deal with like the low self-esteem is to go out as many dates as possible, or no? No,
I think it's to strengthen the relationships that someone has in their life already, because that's, if you have low self-esteem and then you just kind of play the numbers game, then it could be easy for you to fall into the place where you're just like, looking at people as disposable, and devaluing relationships because, going into it with low self-esteem, like you expect, to be negatively judged. And so,
right.
One person after another, you're trying to make a connection with, and you don't feel it, or they don't feel it, then you really it can really fuel your low self-esteem. So the best thing is for someone with low self-esteem to understand what is the root of their low self-esteem, because awareness is definitely key to like.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you know what helps me with my low self-esteem? I like to get Shwifty. Have you ever gotten Shwifty?
What is that, a porn term? I don't know.
No. It's Shwifty.
Is that dick slaps?
No. It has nothing to do. It's
dick slap.
It's Shwifty. It is what it is.
You don't have a definition for me?
I don't have a definition.
No.
Well,
I think we do. Hold on. We're just trying to load the definition. Oh, here it is.
Urban
Dictionary? Yeah!
You gotta get Shwifty. You gotta get Shwifty in here.
Yeah!
It's time to get Shwifty.
Shwifty dance party!
We gotta get Shwifty.
Woohoo!
Oh yeah. Take off your
break it
pants
down.
and your panties.
Break it down, Slim.
Shit on the floor. Time to get Shwifty in here.
I think we got another.
Gotta shit on the floor. I'm Mr. Bulldops.
Are you into
I'm
that?
Mr. Bulldops. Take a shit on the floor. Take off your panties and your pants.
I think our intern Pete is
It's
definitely
time
into
to get
that.
Shwifty in here.
I don't know when
Song,
the
Shwifty,
Disco ball
double X,
going.
Shwifty
Disco
song
ball
coming
going.
at ya. It's the Shwifty.
Hey, take your pants off.
Does it just keep
Shwifty
going?
time today.
I don't even know. Oh, there it is. I actually think we have another caller on the line. Hi, who's this?
It's everybody. It's Frankie.
Hey, Frankie, what's going on? We have our friend Elizabeth on the phone, who's a relationship expert and a therapist. Do you have any questions for her?
I called for you, Slim. How's your summer been, buddy?
My summer's been all right, Frankie.
We haven't talked in a while, and I missed you.
I missed you too, Frankie.
What'd you do all summer?
I play board games. I'm like a nerd. I just played a lot of board games.
I was working on a shipping boat. You know what I mean?
You were working on a shipping boat?
He's a shrimper.
Shrimping.
Oh, shrimping. You went shrimping. How'd that go?
Who do you got on?
Her name's Elizabeth. She's a relationship expert and a therapist. Do you have any questions for her?
Yeah, actually. Hi, I got married when I was in jail. Her name was Jim. And I got out, and he got remarried. And I caught him. He had another guy's bandana on his wrist. And I just want to know, should I kill him?
I don't think you should kill him. I think that you should understand, the circumstances in which your relationship
I can't.
formed.
But it was blood. There was a lot of blood.
With him and the other guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what does that tell you?
That I was not man enough.
Well, that's one way to interpret it. Another way to interpret it is that, he may not have valued you to the same extent that you valued him. So, you gotta
Frankie,
watch out for people
Frankie,
like that.
You know what you
Yeah.
need? Frankie, you need to get Shwifty.
What's that?
Turn it up!
Oh yeah. You gotta get Shwifty. You gotta get Shwifty in
You
here.
guys are getting fun
It's
tonight.
time to get Shwifty. Uh-oh. You gotta get
Yeah.
Shwifty.
Know your worth.
Oh
And know
yeah.
that
Take off your pants and your panties. Shit on the floor. Time to get Shwifty in
I
here.
love them.
Gotta shit on the floor.
More than
I'm Mr. Bulldops.
I know.
I'm
and
Mr.
sometimes
Bulldops.
it's not required.
Take a shit on the floor. Take off your panties and your pants. It's time to get Shwifty in here.
New song, Shwifty, double X, Shwifty song coming at ya. It's the Shwifty.
Hey, take your pants off. It's Shwifty time today.
All right, I have a serious question.
Yeah.
Do ya?
Yeah. What do you think about these guys that when they fall in love with these girls and then they just post, the girl leaves them and then they just post all their emotions and their feelings on Facebook?
I mean, they're using an outlet, as opposed to holding it in and then beating up the first person they see on the street.
Yeah, but as a guy, seeing that when you see your other guys' friends do that, it's just what are you doing? I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could seem maybe pathetic or
Right.
sad, but I mean, you never know until you're really in that position.
Yeah,
So,
I guess so. What do you think the best way to deal with, when you are dealing with a lot of emotions, from a breakup, what do you suggest the best way to deal with it is?
I think that you have to find the secure sources of love in your life through friendships and family,
Right.
and kind of use that love to heal the void, left by the person who left you. So you have to look for, other sources of love to fill in that space.
All right. Cool. Another question I had is like, because let me see how I can word this. Like, I have a couple of female friends who like at first they were girls that I was like attracted to, and I tried like I guess I tried to get with them, and whatever, I was shot down. Hurt a little bit for a while, got over it, and like now I'm really good friends with them. Do you think that's a healthy thing? Is that okay to do, or do you think that's kind of pathetic? Like I should just not be friends with them?
Well, I mean, do you feel like you're kind of waiting around for her to change her mind about you?
No, not worried. You know, like sometimes you get thoughts in your head, but it's kind of like, whatever. I know that I got to move on and that I got to be stronger. So.
Has she talked about other guys with you?
No.
Yeah.
How would you feel if she started doing that? I mean, because, you know...
Well, I mean, I guess she has, like, she's in a relationship now, you know, and it's like, whatever. It's not that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you have to, you know, figure out what purpose this friendship is serving in your life. If it ultimately leads to a feeling of, you know, greater rejection, then it may not be so healthy. But if it's, you know, sort of a corrective experience to say, well, look, you know, maybe this girl wasn't into me on that level, but she still likes me as a person, then, you know, you can derive some self-worth from that friendship.
Cool.
All right, I got one more question. When I'm not getting Schwifty, how do I fill in my empty void? What should I do?
1 or 2 fingers.
Yeah, I mean, like he said, you know, use your fingers.
I'm laughing because I'm reading my last question here, and I'm like, oh, yeah, well, this is perfect. It says, as a therapist, has there ever been something a client has asked you that has just been completely wacky that you just don't even know how to respond to it seriously?
Yeah. All right. So during graduate school, I was seeing this couple, and the guy would compulsively cheat on his girlfriends. So the girlfriend was trying to figure out whether she could forgive him or not. They ended up breaking up. So I started seeing him as an individual. And then he told me that all the girls that he has cheated, like, has been, like, the cheating girls, as opposed to the girlfriends, they were all transvestites. So, transvestite hookers.
What?
So he would compulsively cheat on his girlfriends with transvestite hookers. And I was not expecting that at all. I mean, this guy was like, you know, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like, you know, I would not expect this from this guy at all. And I just had to keep a straight face and say, that's interesting. What's the appeal of that?
I think we have another caller.
Hi.
Hi.
I just had a question of how do you deal with psychopaths? Like ex-husbands who are like trying to pull you out of car windows and checking your closets and your luggage and stealing your panties and stuff like that.
Well, you got to start by enforcing boundaries with them, and you also want to look at.
I have protections of orders, police reports, you name it, and none of it works.
Well, what do you think you may be doing to reinforce his behavior? Because, you know, relationships are a system, and one person can't continue to act a certain way without getting, you know, sort of the green light from the other person.
You know, I don't really think that is the truth at all, because I filed for divorce.
Mm-hmm.
I have thrown him out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
I have told him hell no. I've told him go fuck off. I've told him to go die. And he still calls. He hounds me on Facebook. He hounds me on Twitter.
Can you block him?
I've blocked him on every source possible. I don't know if he has gotten into, if he's gotten passwords, what he's doing. He's threatened to kill me.
Maybe he's making like multiple.
He feels entitled too.
yeah, he's got a lot of entitlements. So
I think that you should probably like talk to him and say, "Look, I'm really sorry
try
for
to
what
talk to him. It's like talking to a retard. Seriously, there's no I mean, I've talked to him on many of occasions.
Well, what attracted you to him at first?
We were married with 2 children, and he wasn't like this when we first met. Later on through the years, I think he's become more obsessive and controlling. And one day I just decided that was it. And he's still hanging around with the hopes of reconciliation.
Right.
So my question to you is, how do I break the tie? What do I say? What do I do?
Well, it's a really complicated situation because you shared children. Does he have, do you have joint custody with your ex-husband?
His definition of joint custody is coming and picking them up for 10 minutes, 15 minutes here and there. The whole visit with the kids is, where's your mother? What's your mother doing? Does she have company over? Who is she seeing? Where is she going? It's not about them. So they have drawn a blank when it comes to their father. But, and he blames me for that. So that's also something that I have done. So I don't know. I'm asking you, what's your advice on just breaking that bond, breaking that relationship?
Well, I mean, it may not be the best time for him to be involved in their lives right now if he's not giving them the attention that they need. So, you may want to talk to a lawyer about, I guess, decreasing or eliminating visitation rights for him so that he doesn't get to see them. I mean, you don't want to reward his, psychopathic behavior with time with his kids for him to just spy on you. That's not productive for anybody. So you may need to, change the custody.
And I don't think he even cares about that. I think that I push that because I think that is normal for a person to want to have a relationship with their children, even though the person that they were bonded with and having children with is no longer in the picture. It just seems a little odd to me that since your partner is out of the picture, that you should no longer have ties with your own children. So,
but I mean, if he's abusing that right and he's not using it productively to bond with his kids, then he should not be given that right. I mean, he needs to learn that if he's going to spend time with his kids, it has to be about them. Not him, not you, but them. So, I mean, you may need to change your custody situation so that he doesn't get to see them
I think
for a
he
little
needs
bit.
a psychiatric evaluation and just cut it completely because he's not a father anyway. But thank you for your advice.
Okay, sure. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
All right.
I think our intern.
Pete, you had a question?
Yeah. All right, hold on.
what do you? Come on.
I got a question. Do you wear fancy pants?
What are fancy pants?
Fancy pants.
Explain. I don't even know what fancy pants are.
Just general fancy pants.
Just like shiny, like golden pants.
They could be shiny.
Sparkly,
extra
polka
pockets.
dots. They can have extra pockets.
For paraphernalia.
Sometimes.
Sometimes she wears fancy pants. We have a fancy pants.
when I'm in a fancy mood.
When you're in a fancy mood.
I wear fancy pants when I get Schwifty.
All right, Elizabeth. Thank you very much. Why don't you plug whatever you got to plug, let the people know where they can find you, and we're going to let you go, okay?
Thank you. Yes, my website is manhattanfamilytherapy.com, and you can book a session with me if you're going through any sort of relationship struggle, if you're in the greater New York City area, and thank you for having me on.
Yep. Thank you very much. You take care.
Thanks for getting Schwifty with us.
Thanks for getting Schwifty with us.
Hey, I'm Executive Intern Pete from the Rob and Slim Show. These assholes get me wasted, bust my balls, make me shit in adult diapers, and yet I still come back every fucking week. I can't remember much, and I'll probably regret everything later on in life. But you can find these two schmucks, Rob and Slim, on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher. You guys get that?